Alright, InMendham extermination video, day 8. No more fingers. The hell with it. Numbers are going to keep getting bigger and bigger, I guess. So anyway, yeah, I'll send a letter to Google next couple of days. Just basically the same thing in the email, just letting them know that this is their last chance to resolve this without involving the courts. That'll be my message to them. I did receive a PM from some guy, can't remember his name, but made really good arguments about why it's not just a private corporation and that kind of stuff. So I'll post a video with that eventually. But it was really good stuff. If the guy wants me to mention his name, I will, but I wasn't quite sure. So he PM'd me and he says it's okay to use it, but I don't know if he wants me to mention his name. But whatever, doesn't matter. One way or the other. I won't do the video for a few hours anyway, till tomorrow probably or later. Excuse me, hiccup burp thing. Anyway, don't really. Yeah, I'd edit that out, but I'm not editing this video. So anyway, yeah, a couple of videos today. One of them, reply to Nick on the word productivity. And of course he's using it in the economic context, which just basically means how much can you extract from the slaves. I mean, how much work can you get out of them? Like, when there was too much whipping, when did you go too far and do too much damage to the slave and you get enough work out of them? What's just the right amount of whipping? That's what productivity means to the economic world. But obviously to a regular human, the word has a completely different meaning. Well, anyway, they did a whole video on that. And then I did a response video. The HolonsNetwork interviews are up. I'll post this to response to the first one. Hopefully it'll get stuck there. Some idiot responded to the first part. Couldn't even wait for part 5. Just responded way too soon. So I did a response video to him just because it was just such an annoying little prick. In the comments, you can see it. Like in the third video, same guy making like 6 comments, and it's just this phantasmagorical crap. They don't make a rational argument. They just say, I know, I've met God personally when I meditated, so I know the truth. Bullshit. You can't argue with their nonsense because it's just that nonsense. They don't speak English. They write whole paragraphs and you're like, what the fuck did the asshole say? This is so annoying. Anyway, so what else? I guess I'll throw in one little tidbit that I kind of forgot as context to the free will discussion, because that's partly in there. You always come back to that eventually. But it is, I've mentioned this before in past videos, even had the word think, in past videos, because the more you think about something, you're likely to change your mind about it. I mean, if you take 5 minutes to consider a question and you take 5 hours, you might come up with very different reactions. Your will change because you gave it more thought, more context was applied. And where did you get that from? What was the more thought? What was the added ingredients? The added ingredients was your life experience, what you've learned throughout your life. You might learn a fact like, I know that my psychology tends to be very impulsive, reactionary, and bigoted. It has preferences and prejudices. And so in some decisions, if I'm going to be making a decision, maybe I shouldn't be making the decision based on, like, if you're going to buy a car, you don't just look at the car and say, oh, it's the right color, I'll buy it because I like that color. No, if you're smart, you're going to take a little time, see what kind of engine it's got, what kind of gas mileage it gets, and you're gonna have a whole methodology that it's not mythology, but methodology that you'll go through in your brain. And all of that's going to be based on your life experience, what you have knowledge of. You're not going to be able to consider how big the carburetor is if you don't know anything about carburetors. But the things you do know about, you will be able to evaluate. And they'll be part of what becomes your will. It isn't that fucking complicated. There's no freedom involved in it. The decision will be made by your subconscious, by what has dominant associations. And what are strongly held principles and what are weakly held principles. What are strongly held beliefs, what are weakly held beliefs. And as soon as I associate a decision, an outcome, with one of those strongly held beliefs, well then it's going to tend to go that way. So as soon as I apply a principle, as soon as, like I said, if it is a question of like, who do I give the job to or something, maybe part of my brain will be saying, yeah, give it to the hot chick. Okay, but then my brain will think a little more and say, but that's violating a principle, a fundamental principle. You know, that you shouldn't be judging books by their cover, and there shouldn't be special privileges, and there should be something called merit and fairness. And as soon as my brain says the word fairness, that's going to be a strong principle word in my head. And so the decision is likely going to be that I'm going to do the right thing. It's for the principle, because I have a strong devotion to that word. Now, a sociopath might just say, well, there's no concept of fairness. Everybody's going to die anyway. If I kill somebody, so what? They're going to be dead anyway. And Nick, the minor mystic, tells me it doesn't matter how much they suffer anyway, so I can torture them all I want. It doesn't matter, because it's all just mattering. And so I can come up with a rationale that says, yeah, I mean, I really enjoy eating people's liver, so I might as well just take that guy's liver and eat it, because there's nothing stopping me, because I don't have to care. So he's not going to have any principle words. His fairness aren't going to enter into the equation, and that's his psychology. So the decision is made by his psychology. It's just stupid to sit there and have an argument about some sort of freedom thing. There's no freedom. You know, there is what you're disposed to be by nature, what you've been conditioned to be, and your exposure through your life that gives you knowledge that might give you the capacity to overcome both of those things, your nature and your nurture. But that's all there is, folks. So yeah, that's enough. I didn't want to make a speech in this video. Oof. 8 minutes? No, it's only 6. Good. Yeah, so I don't think there's anything else. Just kind of discouraging. You know, 8 days, not good. I think that's a bit longer than it went last time, I think. I didn't go back to look. Maybe it was 10 days. Who the hell knows? It was a while, because I remember I had no views for a while, and it showed up on the chart like just this dead line, 0. So it was quite a few days, but I don't remember how many. Don't want to remember. But there's still hope, I guess, right? I was thinking too, which irritates me, is that, you know, YouTube encourages you to make you know, a subscription list and favorites and all those things, and then they take all that shit away too. And so that's part of this whatever you want to call this unfairness of it, because they seduce you into using their product, and then they take their product away, and then so I lose my subscriptions, I lose my favorites, lose all of that stuff. And I should have saved it some other way instead of depending on their service, because their service was completely dependent on their discretion to give it to me. And fuck that. So anyway, yeah, that's probably enough. So till next time, yeah, just keep on doing this, I guess. Oh, I did post a video on like that soapbox thing instead of uploading it to my website, just trying to do some of that, just because I don't want to get stuck with a bandwidth problem on my own website. So I'll spread them out a little bit here and there. So that's all. Thank you very much. The end.